without any doubt, I am completely Sifunated, Sifuna 00. I tell him I am more Sifuna than him. I am not about to leave that camp, despite the many attacks we face, being inside Linda Mwananchi, and especially coming from the Mount Kenya region, even from our own friends from DCP, they'll call and say, kujeni huku kwa Wakikuyu, but you're like, no, it's not a Kikuyu thing. Mimi ni Sifuna kwa sababu nilikuwa kwa street na Sifuna alini protect. Mimi ni Sifuna kwa sababu rule of law lazima prevails.
Is it goon for goon? Because Kenyan politics has been, masked with the issue of goons. Like, so even if you, let's say, for example, like, let's assume you're the good people. How do you, how do you protect yourself from goonism? Do you get good goons, or is there such a thing as good goons?
My name is Macharia. I'm calling from Portland, Oregon.
Okay, talk to us, Macharia.
Karibu, Oregon.
Yeah, I was actually trying to follow up the conversation about Linda Mwananchi.
Yes.
And actually, my biggest concern is the way the politician, even the oppositions, are doing their politics. There's a lot of friendly fires amongst themselves. And that might give the other side, which is Kenya Kwanza, an advantage when it comes to the election. One, what I would expect them to do is like those guys in Linda Mwananchi, they should lock up the western area. Gachagua should lock up Mount Kenya. Kalonzo has a lot of following in Ukambani, the Lower Eastern, and even in Mombasa. He should lock that zone. And then Nairobi, I guess Gachagua would lock that. And then they would come together and actually, sit down and try and get the best man. And we have now the Matiang'i, he can lock his area. And then they can sit down and come up with the best, not necessarily, he can have the best man to stand up and become the presidential candidate. Otherwise, if they keep on playing those kind of games of like, I am the best, I am this, I'm this, I've got the number, I've got this number. There's no way you can go alone and get 50+1 in that country. It's a fact. You need the rest of the members. Okay?
Okay. All right. Asante sana, Macharia. Are you Sifunated, or are you still deciding, or are you two-term?
No, I'm not. No. I'm not. Actually, I am critically observing those kind of politics.
Mm-hmm.
I am analyzing every candidate.
Okay.
I come from Olkalau, and you see the way Olkalau people did. That's where I was born and raised up.
Oh my goodness. Nyinyi watu Olkalau, yani mulikula
alafu kura wakatoa kwingine.
Hapo Olkalau, hata huyo jamaa alichaguliwa. I know the father and I know the mother. The mother was a teacher to my kid brothers.
Oh my goodness. Na sasa wewe ulipata hizo ma gas cookers, sijui ni vitu gani zingine.
I think there are some in their boma.
Mimi niko hapa Portland. I don't need.
Lakini si lazima uko na bomba huko nyumbani.
Nafikiri boma kule walipokea.
Si bomba kule nyumbani walipokea.
Niliwaambia wanichukulie, wakaniambia they are not hawajapata wao wenyewe.
Okay, Macharia, thank you so much. Tuning in from Portland. Please share the link with watu Portland, and we'd like to talk to you guys one day to jue what's happening in Portland. I know at some point watu wengi wa Seattle, Washington walianza kuvuka huko Portland, so I think it would be good one day to talk to know what's good in Portland. Watu wanakimbia kuingia huko.
Iko business hapa in Portland. People come and do business here.
Okay. Aya, asante sana. Thank you so much.
And and I have this issue about election day and the polling. The opposition should be very, very keen on how they do it. All the tallying should be done on the polling station. every county should declare who is the presidential winner in every county, like it is done here. If you
Okay.
see what it is done here, it is, you'll always find a county, they say this county and that county, it is Democrat, it's Republican, and this and that. That's the way to go. And it will be very easy. People can go home and wait for the results. And by the end of the night, people will know who is the president, who have won the election for the president. Why? Because when Bill Boma's is done, I participated in the elections back in the 80s and the 90s.
Wow. What?
I'm telling you.
Mlolongo.
What? Yeah, Mlolongo, I was there. We were directed by the DC. I was one of them, and I was told, "Oh, we want this person." So even if you have the shortest line, you have to give the name of that person, the state you want it. And that's how it happened.
Okay. Haya, sawa sawa. And I hope you are not a goon back in those days, because hizo siku goons walikuwa wengi sana pia.
No, he was being aligned.
I wasn't. Goons were there, but I wasn't one of them. I was an officer in MLA.
Ah, okay. Haya.
Goons were there. There were Kano goons. I wasn't even actively involved in those kind of things. I was just we were being recruited because we are civil servants.
Okay. Haya.
Then we can go in.
Okay, Mashari, asante sana. There's other callers coming through. Thank you so much. And before we get to the other caller, hapa, watu wa Doha, Qatar are tuned in. Isotika anasema Doha, Qatar locked in. And then Maureen anasema we want iPhone all the way. I am Sifuna. I'm fully sifunated. And then Polijo anasema we are what we are. And then Upper Worms Geeks anasema it's Saturday a few minutes to 11 a.m. in Adelaide, Australia. And then Isaac Omondi anasema supporters of the movement have resolved that Sifuna must go all the way to the ballot. What will happen if the United Opposition give the ticket to another candidate? Is Sifuna ready to go it alone? And I think Abi already answered that question. And then Upper Wakanda Nation anasema I'm Sifunated all the way from the Empire State. And then Irene anasema it's 3:21 a.m. in Germany. Octo Mike anasema it's Mike from Niagara Falls, Canada. I am Sifunated. And then Doka Monanti anasema colorful Colorado. Sifuna is us. He speaks for a lot of us men. Watu wa Sifuna ni wengi. And then Pentresi anasema kura is personal act and not a group act. Huyo Pentresi, keeping it, keeping it private. And then hapa Kelvin Kurgat anasema boss, Ruto guaranteed win, wasting time with your money. And then Angeline Obutu anasema Angie Obutu from Edmonton, Canada. Karibu sana Angie. Kelvin Kurgat, Ruto will win hands down. Sifuna doesn't want to use his own money juu atenda mta. I don't know what that means. And then Huku Stry anasema the only time wasted is you being here watching. Hapo anamwambia
back and forth.
Anamwambia Kelvin
tuendelee skip hizo.
Okay, aya sawa. And then sawa. Let's go to the caller and then we're going to get back to the comments here. It's getting hot hapa kwa comment section ya YouTube. Bandio, let's go to the caller.
All right, the last phone number anonymous. Blocked. Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. We can hear you.
Anonymous. Are you sure you're a person?
Number blocked.
Okay.
Or are you AI?
All right. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Sydney, Australia.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And what's your name?
Yeah, that's why it's not showing. Yeah.
I'm calling from Sydney.
Okay. And what's your name?
My name is Charles.
Okay, Charles.
Charles.
Talk to us.
Karibu. Welcome, Charles.
This is not the first time. Karibu, Charles.
Talk to us.
I am fully fascinated. I like the conversation, but I had probably one question for Abby Zuena.
Okay.
Abby and Gen Z Buddy, Kadide. First, before I ask my question, I just wanted to thank them for what they do, for Linda Mwananchi all the way to Bungoma. Now they're headed to Homa Bay. And all they do on social media, it's amazing. Catching up with Gen Z Buddy and Zuena. and Kadide is always fun. But I was just wondering whether down the line, Zuena on behalf of Abi, Zuena on behalf of Jenzibadi and Kadide can assure us that they are not going to turn around and support Ruto, or they are not mulling, enjoying right now, and then turn around and maybe go to DCP, or just assurance. Because based on historical political dispensation in Kenya, sometimes the stars that play in the front line turn around to be the opposing voices down the line.
Okay, and before you answer, Abi, give us context here. Jenzibadi ni nani, Kadide ni nani, watu weko out of touch hapa diaspora kidogo. Yeah, yes. So,
okay.
So let's go, Abi.
Ama aseme bag ni ya nani?
Alele mtoto, of course.
Okay.
Bag ni Alele mtoto.
Okay, sawa. Let's go. Let's go.
Thank you, Charles. Jenzibadi is and Kadide are part of our team in Linda Mwananchi, the communications team, of course. Myself and Jenzibadi were one of the pioneers of pushing for the Sisi Ndio Sifuna brand. I remember after the first rally, which was in Busia, many people think it was Kitengela, but it was Busia. Is when we did that T-shirt, Mimi Ndio Sifuna, and we just started rallying TikTokers because we are very big on TikTok, and we just started saying, why do you resonate more with Sifuna? Why are you a Sifuna? And so we started this trend, and people are just making videos saying, Mimi ni Sifuna kwa sababu nilikuwa kwa streets na Sifuna alini protect. Mimi ni Sifuna kwa sababu rule of law lazima prevail. So that is Jenzibadi, and then Wakili Kadide joined us much later. She's also part of the Linda Mwananchi Lawyers League that go to represent the young people that are arrested unlawfully, in collaboration led by Honorable Babu Owino and Senior Counsel James Orengo. So that's the context of Jenzibadi and Kadide. And Charles, just to give you confidence, I don't think there's anything Ruto can ever give me that can ever make me support him. And I say this because even in the 2022 elections, I was amongst the very few young people from Mount Kenya region that were rallying behind Baba then. I'm born and raised from Nakuru County. I saw things. There are things we saw. Chiefs came to our houses to ask us and request us to take in families. There are horror stories we were told. So even then, I could not reconcile with the fact that people were considering him as a presidential candidate and somebody who should hold the highest office in this country. For me, my issues with Ruto started then, and even when we lost, and when Baba went to shake Ruto's hand, because I had a very good relationship with the late Baba. I remember doing him a message and telling him, Baba, I respect you. You have been my presidential candidate. I have a lot of respect and love for you. But on this one, I am not boarding. Wewe, mimi umeniacha opposition. And I continued injecting on all my social media platforms, even when Baba went for that handshake with Ruto. And now that morphed in when Sifuna now stood tall against this broad-based arrangement. For me, that felt like home. I have no problem with the other opposition leaders, like, for example, Rigathi Gachagua, who comes from my community ideally, but I do not resonate with his ideals and principles. Please remember, he was our opponent when Baba was vying. So there were things he would say about Baba. So I had issues with Rigathi even before he entered power, when he became a deputy president, when he was removed. Now he's in opposition. Alipata some of us co-opposition. Some of us started saying Ruto must go even before Rigathi Gachagua was impeached. And so for us, we did not get so fascinated with his wave because there were no any principles that were relatable with us. And so for me, without any doubt, I am completely Sifunated, Sifuna 00. I tell him I am more Sifuna than him. I am not about to leave that camp, despite the many attacks we face, being inside Linda Mwananchi, and especially coming from the Mount Kenya region, even from our own friends from DCP. They'll call and say, Kujeni huku kwa Kikuyu, but you're like, no, it's not a Kikuyu thing. It's a principle thing, and one must stand for something. So rest assured, atutoki atuendi kwa Ruto, na siendi kwa Rigathi Gachagua, mimi niko Linda Mwananchi until we form the next government. There was also the other question on how the previous caller was talking about how every opposition leader should lock out their region. And I want to speak very much against it because Sifuna is not a Luya leader. Sifuna is a national leader. And he has every right to traverse the whole of this country because people resonate with Sifuna despite his tribe. They don't see him as a Luya leader. They see him as a leader who has stood the test of time. And so even as much as we have still been going to the western counties, and we've covered all of them. We've covered Bungoma, Busia, Kakamega, the whole of last weekend for 3 days until the last day on Sunday at night. We were in Kakamega campaigning at our last stop. The fact that he's still going back to galvanize that does not make him a loyal leader. That backyard has been left for, George Natembea to completely lock it. And occasionally Sifuna is going to be going there for tours and engagement with the Wananchi. But our agenda is to traverse all the 47 counties and offer an alternative, option. Because even as much as we're having regional leaders, there is a demographic of young people. Young people don't see tribe. Young people we have people calling us from Garissa, Moyale, Turkana, Mount Kenya, Nyeri huko kwa Rigiji. Nyeri. We also hold a rally there.
Wamunyoro.
Kwa Wamunyoro huko. Tunaenda huko. Kwa sababu watu wanataka kusifuna.
Okay.
So I feel every opposition leader should cover any part of this country that they want and not cage themselves to be a regional leader. Otherwise, we will still be doing the old politics and hoping for, different results. If, in my opinion, that is, yeah.
Okay. Callers.
So
yes. Sorry.
Just a quick follow-up.
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
So thank you, Zuen. I think I'm actually talking to you on phone and also watching you on YouTube, so it's very interesting. So hearing from you, I get the confidence that you are in Linda Mwananchi to stay, and I appreciate that. Actually, you are the pioneer. You and Jenzibadi and Kadida were the pioneers of the movement. So my other perspective is, other than contributions that we do online, how else can we be of any help to you directly or indirectly? And if I may add, Homa Bay uko safe ama mko aje? Kwa sababu tunasikia Wanga na Kaluma na Raymond ni kama wamewapangia. Ninyi mmewapangia nini?
So let me start with other ways. Even just you being part of this show and just saying you're Sifuna in whichever gathering you're in with people, whoever you meet, just strike that conversation and talk about Sifuna. It goes a mile away. It started as a conversation. It will continue as a conversation. Of course, we have our platform. I know a lot of diaspora have been asking how they can support, but we have a platform, a digital platform, lindamwananchi.com, where you can contribute and just volunteer. Just sign yourself up as an expert, because we are now structuring how experts can plug in, and our volunteer platform is very open for you to just subscribe to what you'd feel you'd support the movement with in terms of expert opinion or expert support and so forth. In terms of Homa Bay, no, we are not safe. I'll not lie. We received a lot of threats, even me personally. I know some of my team members like Jenzibadi and Kadide may not even make it for the rally, and I understand them. These are young ladies. It's not easy being a young woman in this movement, and especially when the kind of threats you receive go beyond any human imagination. And so we are taking our precautions. We're also organizing ourselves, and we've been clear about this. If government is not going to be intentional about offering us security, then security starts with us as well. So we are also planning ourselves, because at the end of the day, lazima tuingie Homa Bay. It's the same thing they did for us in Kisumu. If you remember, the threats were there. Sam Atandi, Mheshimiwa Atandi, who is a whole chair of our finance committee, was there just telling us hatutaingia Kisumu, and hurling all sorts of threats. But this time I think it's a little bit heavy, because we are facing it from a sitting governor. In Kisumu it was easier. Anyang' Nyong'o did not want to interfere, so he just let us have our day and engage Wananchi democratically. He's a man that respects the rule of law. Governor Wanga not so much so, and Kaluma, and also the PS of security, Raymond Omolo, who's been in the forefront saying we are welcomed, but behind the scenes, the kind of meetings and videos we are receiving and what they are telling people to do to us on Sunday is quite shocking. But pia baba hakulea waoga. At the end of the day, lazima tuingie Homa Bay. Liwe liwalo, hiyo Homa Bay lazima tutaingia. Yes, that is our resolve, and we cannot wait to engage the people.
So is it goon for goon? Because Kenyan politics has been masked with the issue of goons. So even if you let's say, for example, like let's assume you're the good people, how do you how do you protect yourself from goonism? Do you get good goons, or is there such a thing as good goons?
No, we just our formula has always been one goon we allocate 10 190s. You overwhelm them with the people.
Overwhelm them with people.
Okay. Yeah, so if there are 50 goons, then we make sure there are 500 people to overwhelm them. Same thing as how Olkalau did it. They voted and stayed outside the polling station. So the people overwhelmed even the police. Police were trying to enter and they were being told, so what we do is ensure that we mobilize and talk to people to come to our rallies and engage us. And please note, we don't pay people to come to our rallies. We don't have that kind of money. But we engage and have meetings that like this. For the Homa Bay meeting, you've seen Honorable Karoli has been on the ground holding meetings after meetings on a daily basis, encouraging people, selling our ideals and agenda and our principles as Linda Mwananchi. But it is so much easy because this government has failed Kenyans, and Kenyans really do want to hear from us in Linda Mwananchi because they know who Edwin Sifuna was, even inside ODM as the SG, as the longest and the last serving SG of Baba. They know what he stood for. And so for us, it's not such a hassle to get people to come to our rally because, of course, the gap in leadership is there with the current regime and people want a different engagement with us.
Okay. Thank you so much. We have another caller, but real quick before we go to the caller, comments have been coming in thick and fast. Engineering Muscles anasema on your campaigns, remind people of the mess the Kasongos have done: killings, corruption, taxes, debt, luxury travels. Use these cards to your advantage. Remind people things they've experienced. And then there's someone, Angeline Obutu is asking, how can we send our contribution? So I don't know whether it's to Team Sifuna or whether it's to Team One Mic Show. One Mic Show, there's just a $1
or maybe
sign.
To me.
Or maybe to Abby. Okay.
Kumbe Abby pia napokea envelope. Abby yawa. Abby.
Aya, Angeline, specify and then we'll let you know how to do it. And then Brown anasema, please, something is better left silent. The issue of HE saying he does not know everything removes bonga points from the grounds. And then Patrick Apa anasema, great fight for our nation. I personally put my support behind this movement. I'm Sifunated 100%, watching from Modesto, California, USA. Let's go to the call and then we're going to come back to these comments again. Again, the number to call is 202-683-4570. Press *5 to speak. We're talking about Linda Mwananchi Virtual Diaspora Town Hall that's happening on August the 22nd, 10 a.m. Eastern time. So you can calculate, within your own time zone. And of course, we have Abby Zuena, from the ground in Kenya. She's currently in Homa Bay County, waiting, like a Linda Mwananchi rally. And then, of course, we have Al Musasia. Hakuna Kulala. We have Al Musasia and Dan Mugubi from Houston, Texas. They're the organizers. They're part of the organizing team of this virtual town hall. And of course, we have our listeners, our fans, and the people who are calling in. Again, number 202-683-4570. Press *5 to speak. You're tuned into the One Mic Show. Ubelwa.
The last phone number 6099. Hello.
Okay, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Welcome to the One Mic Show.
6499. Last four numbers. Yes.
Hey, Jambo.
Hello, Jambo. Karibu.
I'm calling from Des Moines, Iowa. My name is Nancy.
Nancy, karibu sana. Talk to us.
Asante. I disturbed Ali about Sifuna a lot. So anyway, let me speak what I feel. I am very pro Sifuna because I'm all about supporting young people. I've worked also with so many multiple campaigns. I've knocked on doors, I've worked with Barack's campaign, you know what I mean? I have worked remember when Ledama wanted to be president, you guys? I think I was in his planning committee, So I have specific questions. But before I ask the specific questions, I really, really think, as much as it's fascinating to have a champion and a noisemaker, you know what I mean? One thing I learned with Barack's messaging was, yes, you have excitement, but what else besides the excitement? You know what I mean? I'm a Sifuna fan, but I'm not hearing anything about policy and changes. People need to know how you're going to make my life easy. It doesn't matter whatever country you do a campaign. People want to know, utafanya nini ufanye maisha yangu ikuwe rahisi. So number one, the messaging has to completely shift. We appreciate seeing the excitement and people around him. I'm half Nandi, half Midaho, which Ikolomani people. And I'm very privileged. I also know people from both sides, but I am just curious, like, when does the messaging shift? And it has to shift ASAP, because it's like playing soccer, you know what I mean? And chase. We need to hear something, especially for us who are very genuinely supportive of him. Now, second point would be diaspora can make a difference, but I also have a question on that one. I remember when Raila used to come to Texas, people would campaign and then they would raise money for him, you know what I mean? What happened after that? We don't want a movement that starts and then stalls, because first of all, there was no strategical thought on how the campaign should run. So I generally just have two questions. When does the messaging shift? What are you going to do besides saying one time to make people's lives better? And how do you continue to engage diaspora? Because for people like us in the diaspora, I'm sure Ali, probably you guys know this. If you don't fulfill these things quickly, we're done. Like some of me, I'm like, if I don't see what the end outcome is going to be, I'm out. I'm willing to write a check. I think I've even said it. Like, I'll write a check. I'm not the only one. I can bundle. In America, we have something called bundle, where you can bundle checks from people. There is genuinely good support, because we also do appreciate his movement where he's asking people to give money, because in America, the system allows that. So anyway, my questions are, when does the messaging shift? What is that messaging? Number two, diaspora engagement. And how do we make sure that if we're raising money, that we're not going to be disappointed later? Because attracted to raise pesa alafu kesho tuendi mbele, as we like outcomes.
Okay, so I think, there's a lot to be unpacked in what Nancy has asked. Before we go to Abby, maybe let first Dan just react to that, and then Abby can come and follow up. Dan.
Yeah, as much as Abby can follow up, I'd really, really urge the speaker on the phone to channel those questions to the Linda Mwananchi, so that the flyer is out, shared already. Questions are being forwarded. That's the first part, so that the questions can be answered by the principals. I think the principals will be in the very better position to respond to the two questions you have said. So if you can channel those questions to the team, so that we have those questions ahead of time, the principal will answer them better than Abby. Number two, if you can attend in person too, that's why we are here for mobilizing, to make sure people attend the town hall meeting next Saturday again. It's going to be 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. So 7 a.m. Pacific Time, 6 a.m. is going to be Midwest time. So at least try to attend. Those questions, to me, I feel like that's why we are here, to mobilize people to come on board and make sure that you ask the principals, so the principals can answer them vividly from their own mouths. I'll lead back.
Okay, thank you so much, Dan.
Allow me to add just a little bit,
yes,
if you don't mind.
Yes, go ahead, Al.
Yes, I have to applaud the lady from Iowa. I think that her questions are very much valid, and I think it also her questions resonate with a lot of other people who are in the diaspora. I think they need to know the value they will add to the campaign. How else can they engage? Of course, there are those people who are willing to donate. How can they do that? Those are the details that we will continue to, unveil as time goes by. I also have to say that, of course, this Linda Mwananchi movement has been very active in the last 4 months. I think it has grown faster than they can be able to catch up with policy issues. And I think that those are things that will be addressed. I think the leadership is coming up with a retreat, which that's part of the reasons why they're trying to organize this to be able to formulate policies that address some of the things that she's talking about. And so I think as much as we want to make sure that that's addressed, we also just, in the immediacy to see maybe in the weekend, we can be able to raise those kind of questions to see how they can address that. But I think there are things that they're working behind the scenes, and as we progress, they can be able to bring those to the limelight. As far as contribution, I think we are laying strategies as well, the groundwork in the diaspora. Because there's a link that you can use. When it started, they had a pay bill number for those people in the diaspora who don't have a Kenyan number. It was a little bit a challenge. They eventually gave us a website. You can either contribute through PayPal or a credit card. We're also trying to find a way that we can also see if we can be able to find a way you can contribute using TapTap or Wave or any other way like Lempi without having to go through the website. If that happens, then that will make the process easier. And so those are things in progress, and you are more than welcome aboard, mobilize, and join the team so that we can be able to rally the diaspora towards that end. And that's what I can say, that to continue, whatever you are trying to spread the word, and you can attend the meeting on Saturday.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Al. Before quickly we go to the next caller, comments
Can I say something? Maybe please.
Okay, real quick, 1 minute, because kuna callers wengi sana hapa. Go ahead, Abby. Yeah.
I know Dan is forwarding questions to the principal, but I'm also able to just note that and guide that in every county we go, we address the issues per county. In Taita Taveta, the messaging was they want clean water. The 2 weeks after that, Senator Sifuna received a petition from the residents of Taita Taveta and addressed that issue in Senate. In Bungoma and Kakamega, the issue was the sugar factories that have been dying off and have laid off a lot of workers, and that was addressed. So maybe we may not be hearing the national issues, but it's through this public participation that we're having with the Wananchis on a county level that we are able to address issues per county. In Busia, we addressed the issue of, was affordable housing necessary in Funyula constituency, for example, where Mheshimiwa Undo comes from, vis-a-vis other issues that are facing the residents. And so that is why the question of affordable housing necessary in a county where we don't have slums, where else the government is saying that one of the agendas of affordable housing is to ensure that everybody has a place to live and get off from the slums. The forum that our principals are coming to have with the diaspora community is to understand the issues that they are going through so that they are able to formulate policy. So for us to have an agenda or a manifesto or policy-based conversations, we must engage the Wananchi so that they can be people-based policy towards tackling their specific issues or problems that they have, so that we are not generalizing based on just from on top of our head. I just felt like I needed to clarify that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. And Abby, we are gonna engage you on those county by county issues in future episodes, because I think like some of these issues sometimes get drowned out by the news headlines. Quick comments here before we get to the caller. James alikuwa anauliza, is Sifuna willing to work under Gachagua and DCP party? I think this was answered. And then I have Ibrahim Masaka. I am in Canada and I am not registered. Please, we are gonna have a full episode on voter registration. This is gonna be a big part of the conversation in the town hall on Saturday, August 22nd. And then Apa, I have Caroline Anasema. I'm in Saudi Arabia. Thank you for being on air. Thank you so much, Caroline, for tuning in all the way from Saudi Arabia. Please let us know what time it is there. And then Apa Brown Anasema, Natembea is a Luya kingpin. Let him deal with Western Coast. Northeastern Rift Valley is our weakest point. And then Warimunderito anasema Omosh umepromote Homa Bay sana, Omera si upromote Laikipia, the land of highland savanna, cosmopolitan, fresh mountain air. And then Apa Miguel Ventures anasema, the way Kalenjins fight for Kasongo, you may think he's a dentist. And then I don't know what that means. Irene anasema, honestly, I am so scared about the decision for one opposition presidential candidate, because at the end of the day, it's about power. how do you reflect the unity as we gradually approach D-Day? So quite a number of comments coming in, but let's go to the caller because we're here for you, and then we're going to get back to the comments. Mubelwa.
5155, hello.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Welcome to the One Mic Show.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, I'm James Marende, and I'm calling you from Los Angeles, California.
Wow.
This is a great conversation. I don't want to take too much time. I just want to make one point. And Abby, you can write this down. Maybe to come across like a weird suggestion or strange or something, but I would like and encourage the Linda Mwananchi to declare that our next administration will outlaw tear gas, whether it is police, whether it's private people, that tear gas is outlawed in Kenya. And I'll give you a reason why. So that it will be the only administration since independence that has decided it's not going to use tear gas. Why? The administration that is so sure in its own skin that it will stick with the rule of law, that they don't need to harass people because they are demonstrating. All the water cannons, turn them into fire engines. Another president, if there's a dictator president who will come next time, he can buy more tear gas if they want. But if you can start that, because this government, I can tell you, this government is capable of causing chaos to the extent that they can use that to say that 2027 election cannot be held because it's not safe. But if Linda Mwananchi comes from this other side and let the public know that they are so comfortable with the administration they are coming in, that they are so comfortable that people can demonstrate freely, democratically, and not be tear gassed with water cannons. Here in America, I cannot recall a time when I've seen a tear gas, but there are demonstration after demonstration after demonstration, and the police are there. The police know their role. Number two, come up with a really serious police reform agenda. I mean, it has been talked about, it's in the Constitution, but administration after administration comes in and they put the police in the pocket. So that every administration that comes in puts the police in the pocket. Linda Mwananchi, outlaw tear gas, outlaw water cannon, have a serious police reform agenda. That is my contribution.
Wow, amazing. Serious police reform agenda and tear gas, like anchored on tear gas. Abby, I want you to react to that for a minute or two.
You can bet I'm going to pass that message because I completely agree. As a consumer of heavy tear gas and water cannons.
Okay, Mungu, this Abby.
My God.
Did you get the colored ones?
Yes.
Alikuwa nazikula. I'm sure she even has some.
The last party in the conference.
Yeah.
In our rallies, we've also, in Kitengela, we lost a young man, and before that, tulikuwa na tear gas. Vincent Ayomo, may his soul rest in peace. In Kakamega, they tear gassed us. So I completely agree that it should be top of our agenda, because if there are people that have suffered under water cannons and tear gas, the leaders and the followers of Linda Mwananchi. And yes, serious police reform, needs to be, that should be top of our agenda. I completely agree. Until now, I want to say this, we do not have a social life as people in Linda Mwananchi. We are actually advised by 6 p.m. you should be in your house. Avoid late meetings, because anything can happen to us, and it's the same police force being used. There are different units inside the police force. Some are known even to the IG himself. Sometimes I pity him because I know he does not even know the different units that are being formed under his watch that take orders from other people that are not him. You saw the other day him saying, if you are caught doing something, ni wewe kivyako. watawaruka, because he's also, I think, come to the realization that there are forces working outside his jurisdiction and his knowledge. So I completely agree. If we can get those two right, especially a very serious police reform, we are on our way to a very just society that allows people and Kenyans to just thrive and express themselves without fear of being picked up by a Subaru the next day and showing up dead, because we have seen that happen way too many times in Kenya. Yeah.
Wow, that's unfortunate. Subaru ya Mambaru.